don't like the song I sang, it sounded wrong. But I like this song to rap to it true. Gotta fix the camera, that's what I gotta do. Don't say boo when it happens to you. It's God's truth, God is true. He loves you. God does. Now, let's actually fix the tripod that right as I started filming it, started having a funny problem. Not a, whatever. Getting ready to rap. sing a song, yo. I'm about ready to go. With my rhymes, I ain't going out there, don't fool me. Think I'm stupid after set up the camera and the lights? No, you're calling the ground, it's fine. You look like shit, dude. Don't tell me what to do. Suck your own dick, that's how you do, fool. It's 2 inches long. Get the fuck away from me and my song, bitch. I tell you, gonna go get my kids, dude. Gonna go get my kids, dude. Yeah. Gonna get my kids, gonna get Danica and put a lid on it, yo. They're gonna leave, get the shit out of there. Shit. I'm gonna get them, bring them home, home. That's how I roll. Gonna eat some ham bones. Gonna throw away the bone, yo. I'm on vegan, don't like that shit. That's how it is, okay. So don't front on my way, don't front on my way. Don't go away to the penitentiary, fool. Get the fuck away from me as you go, cause you're crazy as shit. You suck your own dick, 2 millimeters long and shit. Suck your own dick. I'll eat vegan if I please. I ain't mean, that's you praying to Bo Jesus, the wrong one. Get it straight, bitch! It's Bo Peep, motherfucker. Cause that's important. And you pray to the wrong shit. Bo Peep is what you was trying to do. Both of it was wrong for you. So step off, motherfucker. You're a sucker, just drool on yourself as you walked out the door. Cause you're a dude, bitch, and there's no more for you. That bitch, he's a dude, you are a woman. Get here now, I ain't fooling. Say, get here now, I ain't fooling. Got to break your fucking door down. Police! Gonna take you out your house. No more kidnapping. Just a mouse. Quiet like all the animals, okay? Cause I'm a freedom, bitch. That shit goes away. Bitch bastards that try to take you away from me. Wallowing in old misery and shit on the floor, bitch. Come back here. There's no more of that evil shit. It's destroyed. Get your boy. For Jesus and God, that's how I roll. That's how reality goes. Jesus and God. God says it's okay to destroy things, not hurt anyone. What the truth brings. We brings. We brings. Nate Dogg G Harmony. They're about to help me get my voice, you see. Yo, got the whole posse. United States government about to fly in. Take you back to my house for breaking the law, motherfuckers. Now you're charged. Shit on the floor. Falling out your mouth. Suck your own dick, fool. You broke the law too much. Now you're fucked up. Now the law's coming to break down your door. Give me back my kids. They've been illegally there for 4 years. You broke the law, fool. Who the fuck contributed to that? Your law-breaking motherfucker, sucker dick of a rat, fool! You broke the law. You fucked up now. Entertainment and straight gonna coming. Can't tell you what they're gonna do because I was pretending, because it's gonna be bad for the evil shit. It's gonna be destroyed. It's what Jesus does when things are evil, just things, not people. Because we're kind to others, and that's what following God and Jesus is. And that's why I'm gonna go get my kids, and Jesus will help with me.
save all the people, we'll be away from all the destroyed evil. Thought they were way better than others, and the poor were worthless. Now who's worthless? Now what's worthless? Of your rich stuff that you try to crush the poor every step of the way to prove your new houses were better than others with older houses. Like you shouldn't get as... Let's not talk about it. Like the air you breathed was better, and poor people should die sooner because they're worthless trash. What are the words you call them? Garbage, shit. To a human life? I call that evil. I call those houses they built in a few months with not much effort, hiring random workers with no love, no blood, sweat, and tears, that people worked so hard in America to have what they have today. And you built up those new houses and destroyed a perfectly good 88 house, a house built in 1988, or a house built in 1992, because you can hire these cheap workers to just build a new one in a few months that has no love, no sweat, blood, and tears, no effort, no real work into it, other than a few months of building up some brand new place, and you destroyed those perfectly good places to build that up brand new? Well, I guess it doesn't matter if all of them are destroyed. So that's what Jesus will do to those people who think they're better than others and were against the poor, called them worthless, garbage, trash. That shit will be destroyed. In the name of Jesus, amen. Like Jesus destroyed the fig tree that was evil. Because some things can be destroyed, but not people. So, fuck your bullshit, evil shit. You don't illegally take someone's children away from them for more than 4 years, you bastards. It's been actually 7 years, including the other 2 times that you were in Texas. You know, they're supposed to be here every year. I'm supposed to be able to see them whenever I miss them according to your documents you pushed on me to sign, your bullshit divorce values that are against the Bible. People there that convinced my wife to commit adultery on me in 2008 to try to take her back for themselves. No man should have sex with her. To get her to commit adultery on me in 2008 and try to humiliate me and go back to her and stay with her for another, however long, with her not really loving me all the way because I had lusted after women in my thoughts and never would have committed adultery on her, never would have been with another woman. And you helped her, and you and your wife helped her to cheat on me in 2008 to try to destroy the happy family I had. You tried to destroy that, and if that wasn't good enough, you came into town in 2017 and you physically took my wife, my biblical wife, and my children away from me 1,000 miles and illegally helped to keep them there all these years. You should be behind bars for breaking the law and contributing to kidnapping my children and not letting me see them when I miss them in the papers that we signed, the unofficial divorce papers that you pushed to have me be a part of with your bullshit ass people who believe in divorce when God is against divorce. These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they've already done wrong. And they pushed 2 other people to their death with suicide. And if it wasn't for my parents raising me to continue going on living and be determined to go on living and to not get that depressed to where I'd kill myself, if it was not for my parents raising me that way, I would have fallen a victim to the people who they caused to kill themselves there in Texas. You got 2 people to do it. That man and his wife were there through every one of those acts, taking my children away from me, causing one of the people before that years ago to kill himself, 20 years ago to kill herself, so she can marry him instead, because she supported his work since he put his work first It's the most important thing for his soul and his life, his job, his career. To make a lot of money, to try to prove he's a rich man with his soul. Some kind human being he is. What a fucking jerk. He broke the law by taking my children away from me physically. He lied to Danica. He told her he'd give her a $30,000 minivan for free, put her and my kids in a car, drove them away. Then when he got there, he made her pay $20,000 for it. She already had a car that got her around good. It was a little older and it worked really well and it had no problems. And he made her waste $20,000 of her hard-earned saved money. And then he kept her there. He helped keep her there. And then, it's worse. How evil the people there have been. So Jesus will punish them and destroy those brand new houses that make them think that they're better than others. In all of America, across all of America, we have a little bit older houses. We work hard to keep them good. We work on the houses to keep them going. And a lot of love and effort and work went into creating these houses we have in America that are not all brand new. And in Texas, when they tear down those houses built in 1994 because they think they're too old, destroy perfectly good, well, not perfectly, but good houses that God thinks are okay enough to live in, to hire these way low-paid workers who they look down on for being poor or Mexican. They hire those people to do hard work to build their houses for them so they can build a new house instead. If that's what they're doing anyway, is just building random new houses every 15 years, and a little bit of damage happens, they don't know what to do. Oh, tear down the entire house, build a new one. That's how they think of all that labor and love and effort that went into building those houses, and they just build a new one. Then I guess it doesn't fucking matter if Jesus, excuse me for cursing, if Jesus sends the biggest hurricane that has ever hit the earth to destroy all of that evil garbage, that separation of class, them thinking that they're rich and looking down on the poor, hurting them constantly, scapegoating, blaming, hurting others with all they have to try to prove they're rich and way better than everyone. Well, God will destroy what they have. He'll destroy those evil houses, them thinking that they're better than others. And they'll have to leave Texas. And they will have to leave Texas and live in an older house for once. And not get cancer from it. Or not think, oh shit, something's gonna go wrong with my health. I'm in an older house. You know? Not thinking they're privileged and better than everyone because they have a brand new house on the backs of the poor. How worthless, how quote unquote worthless the poor are. What else do they call them? Trash, garbage, and shit. Like their lives have no value. Like the lives of the poor have no value. And that's what they tell others in their family are important. That's what's important in your family, how rich you are, replacing kindness and love and the love of Jesus and God and kindness to others and getting along, well, being kind to others, not giving into temptation. And they call that how rich you are. When someone does a kind act, how rich you are. How rich you are. And you've done a good job at anything. They replace everything good with rich, and that's what they make their entire life and soul about. They dedicated their soul to being rich. They're fucking idiots. They're stupid as shit. And they're not only terrifying and scary, but they made the wrong choice about how to live their lives, and they're gonna end up in fucking hell. And they're mean as shit. It's a wonder I'm able to say this in confidence and merely call them stupid when the reality of it is horrifying, scary, terrifying. them trying to act like Illuminati as much as they can, to terrify people into having more and more money, meanness, constant meanness in their thoughts, and lies about it in their words so they don't get in trouble for it, constantly working in unrighteousness their entire lives to get all that money so they can prove how rich they are, because someone called them white trash in the 70s, in the early 70s or something like that. Some guy in the same town called him white trash, and he tried to prove how big and rich and powerful he was, and how worthless anyone who was poor, how they're trash and they're garbage, and I'm rich. You forgive others, you fucking idiot. You fucking foolish, stupid human being. You made the wrong choice about how to live. How are you ever going to repent for that? How are you ever going to suffer for that enough to get into heaven? How are you going to change your ways? How is Jesus ever going to forgive you for blaming all those innocent people your entire life to try to hurt them, to have more and more money, to lie, use tricks of the devil for the devil to enable you to have more money? And you call that your life's work? I call that a bad example for almost everyone in your family, a messed up life. You traded in your wife, your real wife, to try to be rich. And you barely pulled it off. The devil barely gave you enough money to barely be considered rich. By some standards, you're not even rich. To try to keep you sinning in those awful, mean ways. So he's trying to, those horrific ways of meanness in your thoughts and intent that he covers up with lies in his words. I didn't say that. And then he wants to attack a human being's mind and call them crazy by not acknowledging that they have a soul for his lack of belief in God and Jesus, by saying that their mind is crazy. The one thing that he thinks controls their body, not even acknowledging the soul. Calling their mind crazy, like doesn't matter what they do, because their mind, he doesn't give a fuck if they're torn to shit in the most horrific ways he can imagine. His mannerisms, his hands, his coughing at some human being who's older than him. Because they're older than him. Saying ooh about an entire human being's existence. Anytime someone said they're a few years to many years older than him, about their existence, does not care if those people die. And that's one of the people who took my wife and kids to Texas. That's the person who tried to take my wife away from me. And then when I think he tried to mess up the entire marriage, then he physically took my children and wife away from me, caused me years of depression and suffering, crying every day, depression, wanting to die, looking up all these ways to kill myself. And by some miracle, I made it through, and I'm okay again. I haven't been depressed for a way long time, and I think I'm not going to be depressed again. I hope to God. I hope it'll be okay. But I'm not depressed. I'm not going to worry about some big bully jerk, the most popular jock in the classroom, who's so good at lying and getting along with the teacher and taking that kid in the back of the room, hurting that kid in the back of the room so bad, who's the least popular, putting so much blame on him, that this big popular jerk of a bully, a real bully who lies about it so much that he plays the role of the popular one, he attacks that kid in the back of the classroom so much, the kid has nowhere to go, and then he threatens him with death or worse in these ways with his mannerisms and stuff, so they can't trace what he was really doing the whole time, so he doesn't get in trouble for it. His work of unrighteousness, attacking that one kid in the back of the room, the biggest, meanest bully jock ever. And they're good jocks and good popular people. And that one kid in the back of the classroom who pushed and pushed and pushed till that kid had nowhere to go, kept around constantly suffering so he could be the biggest, powerful one. Oh, I'm the best one. While this kid is suffering, they kept him there. And then they tried to push him so low that they almost killed him with the social environment they made for him to suffer in, covering their tracks so they wouldn't get in trouble. And then they tried to corrupt his soul. Then they tried to corrupt that kid's soul in the back of the classroom and make him more mean and sinful than them to even be able to live. They made it so difficult for him. And that big, popular, mean-ass worker of unrighteousness, jerk, bully, who did that to that kid, caused that kid to be a shooter, and he caused all the shooters in America from that bullying in a way that follows the rules, pretends to follow the rules, and he's constantly lying so he doesn't get in trouble for the evil thoughts and the unrighteousness, the work of unrighteousness that he's doing in his thoughts the entire time. And they caused the shooters. They caused those innocent kids who were made fun of so much that then they corrupted their souls. They did some weird-ass magic or occult or some horrifically bad things, really, really bad stuff, like trying to actually be an Illuminati. These people, I had never seen anyone sin that way who took my wife and kids to Texas. I had never seen anyone like that in Roanoke, Virginia growing up. Never seen that kind of sin anywhere. I was terrified of that man. More than one people thought he was an Illuminati until he tried to corrupt our souls too. And then we were like, oh, he's just really, really mean. He's a human being, but he's really, really mean. You know, I thought for sure, people thought he was an Illuminati. But if you said that stuff, he'd attack your mind and say, you're crazy, to try to ruin any hope of you feeling okay or your kind, innocent self. And he'd get jealous. He would get jealous of a meek, small man, young man, innocent person who didn't make that much money in particular, wasn't that big at anything, but so kind and godly and Jesus-like and on their way to heaven. When he found a kind soul that was on their way to heaven, he was so jealous and he wanted to prove that they were no better than him, so he tried to corrupt their soul. He tried to corrupt that innocent person's soul. He tried to do it to me. He tried to do it to my friend when he talked to him for 30 minutes. He talked to him for 30 minutes about his guitar. That guy went to Roanoke Catholic Church. He was a Christian. He was a good friend of mine and a good, kind soul. And he wasn't able to make more than $8 or $12 or $12 an hour. And that mean man who took my wife and kids there, who tries to corrupt the souls of others, made a habit out of the unrighteousness that was really mean work out there. I watched him. Every time I watched him out there, how could he make such a habit out of all that? And so he took my friend, he talked to him for 30 minutes, and a few weeks or months later, a few weeks, I think, a month or two, maybe, a few weeks, there's probably some occult book out there that explains, how he did it, that he read up on or something, and then he actually did that subconsciously in some way, with his interest in the government and the secret societies and his secret dream to be president, no matter how evil it has to be, and his thoughts still covered up with lies. That's what he aspires to. Those are the things he enjoys. He enjoys seeing a military plane that killed 10,000 people. Oh, a military plane, it killed all those innocent lives. This is the type of shit that he enjoys. He thinks he enjoys. It's probably fear-driven. He doesn't even know what he likes anymore. He's a worker of meanness. And he took that friend of mine who went to a Catholic church, he was Christian, blonde-headed guy, Catholic, really nice guy, or some other kind of hair. I'm not going to say because I don't want to. And that guy changed his phone number a few weeks to a month or two later. I think it was like 3 weeks later, whatever. It was about that. He changed his number, his new phone number, intentionally to the number of the beast. And he started being so mean in his thoughts. It was terrifying. You couldn't believe how he became. It's like something changed in his brain in a really weird way to make him a lot different than he ever was, and way more sinful. And he started making like $400 a day at his job, or 200 something a day. He had never made that type of money. He had some ability to demand the money, and he became really mean about it too. His soul may have ended up in hell to continue that way. Thank God he found God and Jesus more again and is more of a kind human being then. Became like more powerful and big instead of his kind, meek, regular good self who honored his parents, and he was good at the level he was at. He was okay. He tried to corrupt, that mean man in Texas tried to corrupt his soul out of jealousy that meek person who was kind, like me when I was younger. He tried to take us and corrupt our souls, push us so close to death, near death. A fear of death is how he first did it to me. And then these other people in Texas did something to make it a fear way worse than death. They really kind of changed my brain into almost like a machine with fear. And before I had the Bible, now I have the Bible and God and Jesus, and that's not possible anymore. Had something to do with the medicine they're trying to take, tell me to take. And I figured out how I can quit all the medicine. I don't even need the medicine anymore. They can't hurt me. I found God in Jesus. I don't even have any anxiety anymore. The only depression I had was fucking from them literally kidnapping and taking my children away from me for all these years. They're supposed to be here every summer. Why the fuck weren't they? How's a little curse word gonna, how's that anything compared to years of depression and suffering and crying that I had to go through? Well, they took all the love for themselves. They took it for themselves because he was divorced. He couldn't get it from his wife, which he was really supposed to get it from, because he traded her in to be rich. So he tried to take my wife and children for himself to use that person as like a, I don't want to say who he is because, he's all about his own. He wanted to be the best person in the biggest, most powerful, richest person in his town. So that person who made fun of him in the 70s, early 70s, about whenever he called, somebody called him white trash, I think, and it caused a fear that drove him his entire life to blame the poor for being worthless, may as well die, worthless, garbage, trash, shit. He called that to poor people, constantly attacking them to try, as one of his kinds of sin. He made these awful habits of sin to try to get more money. You know where that's going to land him? He's likely a worker of unrighteousness. That's how I think that person is. I don't know how I'd get along with him on much of anything. He watched a video when I finally got my house all ready for my kids. I'd spent 1.5 years working relentlessly, 12 hours a day at stuff that I didn't ever really enjoy to do. But I like it now. Now it's okay. I don't have to do it 12 hours a day. And when I finally got ready for my kids, I brought my kids here and they enjoyed it. And it was the best, happiest celebration in so long. It was like everything was finally okay. Then he watched that video. It was called Best Day Ever with Rowan and Ivan. Best Day Ever with Rowan and Ivan from my videos, John Birmingham. He watched that and he was like, he has something that I don't have. So he drove into town, physically took my children away from me, and then he brought them around all his places that are the best. My place is the best. If you want to see your own children, you have to come to my place. It's the best in the woods. Fuck that. I don't care about your bullshit. Give me back my kids. You broke the law to have them there this long. You contributed to illegally keeping my children there. And at one time you tried to hide their address. All you people in Texas. Give me back my children, you motherfucker. You're a person who broke the law. You should actually be thrown in jail. Who knows what else stuff you did to break the law and lie about it. Lie about your thoughts and intent and what you're actually doing so you don't get in trouble and work at it relentlessly. That's all he fucking did his whole life, try to be rich, constantly working for himself to prove he's better than others, no matter who he has to hurt. What a scary, misled human being who believes in ghosts, aliens. He believes in reincarnation, so he thinks he has unlimited, he made it up, so he thinks he has unlimited tries at life to act however he feels with no consequences. That's not how it is. God is going to judge that man when he dies. And he's had my children there. He's one of the people who kept my children there for more than 4 years without letting them come back and visit. God's going to judge him. And I think it's okay that Jesus destroy all those brand new places where they think they're so much better than the people with less money. I think that's okay. I think a hurricane is going to destroy all that shit that they think they're better than others because they have brand new places. They have no love into the building of those houses. What, did it take a few months to build those places? Nothing special about any of those places. Is that what the entire place is there? Is that what Houston is? Do they have any old buildings, old special buildings that have a history? Or did they destroy, or did they tear those down and build a new one? There's nothing good about it. So I guess if a hurricane destroyed all of it, it wouldn't fucking matter. They just put some new buildings like they do anyway. So I think it's okay for God and Jesus to destroy all that evil shit that they looked down on the poor, that they stepped on the backs of the poor and hurt every step of the way to prove how much better they were. That's wrong. You're no better than other humans. God will judge you. God will judge you. God will judge you. You mess with the wrong person. You don't take someone's children away from them for all these years. You want to mention years and bars? I'll throw you behind bars, you fuck. You're the biggest, most evil, popular, evil worker of unrighteousness I've ever met. Nothing original about you. Unrighteous, of course. A liar about your real thoughts and intent. Comes with a suit and dressing to fit in. Oh, crush that person to death. But I'll say it out loud in my words because I don't want to get in trouble. But of course, I'll do this. It's your skull. But I won't say it out loud. I'll just do this. Oh, I was flexing my muscle. I don't have to prove that. I look like a young man with no problems the entire fucking time, so I didn't have to prove my body. I didn't have to prove anything about my body. That was never a problem. It was that person who called me a white trash person. Oh, I'll crush the poor, and who cares if they die? What an evil, bad human being. What an evil, fucking bad human being. I don't give a fuck about that person. That's not me, man. I think Richard Pryor, as sinful and a cocaine freak and into cursing and shit, is more of a truthful person than you. You liar. Horrific, evil thoughts going on in your mind. Is there anything original about you, or do you just cover up your real thoughts with lies? Fucking liar of a human being. Is there anything original or truthful about you? I know you know how to play music. Guess what? I can fucking not even think about it too much without knowing you can't play a single original fucking song, you dumb, stupid ass fucking not cool, dumb ass fucking stupid dumb fuck who doesn't know shit other than evil to get where you got. You don't deserve all that money. Well, you worked really hard, but so did fucking everyone else. So did every other man. You think you deserve 10,000 times as much? Fuck you. You don't deserve to take my wife and children for yourself. You try to push divorce values that try to mess up my entire family. Well, not my parents, but my family, my wife and kids. Thank God you didn't have an effect on my parents, evil ass, dumb bastard, Is there anything cool or original or good that you do? I have not seen one good act. I have seen a less sinful act. Oh, you didn't go for a really young woman when you got remarried. How the fuck is that sinful? You still got somebody 11 years younger than you. I can't think of one good, kind thing that you've ever done because you put up a front and try to act like you're 10,000 times better than me every interaction you ever had with me. Had to prove how much better you are than me. What a jerk. What a jerk. I don't get anything about that fucking guy. I don't care if he's dead. I don't care if he's dead. I don't want him to die. I don't want to contribute to him dying. But he took my children away from me. He drove into town and took them away from me. And in 2008, he helped my wife, him and his quote-unquote wife, some woman he's committing adultery with, who the Bible does not consider him married to, his third wife, apparently, is not even his really wife. He took my wife, or he helped her to stay at his house with me for her to go out. And for the first time, when we had been faithful to one another for 8 years, that he should be behind bars for 8 years, and he helped her to cheat on me in 2008 with my heart feeling so awful. All I had done was lust after women in my thoughts, looked at porn and lusted after women in my thoughts. I didn't act on any of that. That is not biblical grounds for divorce. We could have worked through that. She's supposed to forgive me. But he wanted to prove, he'll take his daughter, or not his daughter, but his person. I'm not saying how he's related to her, but he'll take his daughter and get your wife. I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to say how he's related or not related to her, but he's some man who tried to take my wife there, and he brought both of us there, and while I had to stay at his rich house, I'm not saying who he is because I don't want to fucking get in trouble, so I don't give a fuck about him, and you're not going to say I'm defaming you because I'm not naming who the fuck you are, you bastard. Fuck you. I hate you. You took my wife and children away from me. You messed up my family, bastard. I hate you. I hate you. Is there anything original about you, you dumb bastard? You're not even cool. You're not good. The really important thing is you're not that good of a human being. You're not that kind of human being. You try to corrupt the souls of others when you see these meek, innocent, kind beings. They may be small. You did. You don't do it anymore, thank God, right? Are you okay again? You have sinned so bad. I've watched that man for so many years be that way, make a habit out of all those awful sins and try to convince my wife and kids of it sometimes. I had to relentlessly write the message and show them what's really most important. Thank God my kids honor me. Thank God my kids honor me. I could go on and on about that person. He had my family there for 4 years and 5 months. He had my family there for 4 years and 5 months. When it says in their bullshit, stupid-ass divorce decree documents they made me sign, which apparently we're still married because it's bullshit, and it was written in our own terms. I should hire an attorney to say, we're not really divorced, we're still married. But I don't want to be married to her if that's how she is. If she keeps going to those two people, that man and this other woman there, who she's like close to, and trying to has a fair weather good time. When it feels good, she's Christian. When it's bad or difficult, she's mean. Like a Halloween mean of the occult, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I hope not. I hope to God not. Maybe that woman's okay. Maybe she's not into the occult, but she's pretty fucking scary the way she did her Halloween decorations. And I hope to God she didn't get it from me, because if she got it from me, I got it from that guy. It was so scary. And he got me to sin more. And then when I was away from all those people long enough, by a miracle, when they were in Texas that long enough, I really found God in Jesus. I really found kindness in God and Jesus. Being away from all that. The influence they had on Danica and the kids was awful. Awful. The way wrong values. How rich it is. Like, that's the most important? And wasting all their money to scare others into thinking they have more as part of the sin to try to get more stuff. And these habits out of sin that they made that are wrong. Like their belief in reincarnation. You know? Danica and my kids don't believe it. Danica and my kids know reincarnation is bullshit. I talked to Roan about that today. But his belief in reincarnation and his belief in fortune telling, he's pushing fortune telling on us. That the Bible's against fortune telling. Those are not prophets. Those are false prophets. And his other his sinful stuff. There are many things he made habits out of. And okay, his belief in ghosts, his belief in aliens, but like his belief in ghosts is reaching out to bad spirits or demons. You don't invite that stuff into your fucking house. When I got away from all them long enough, I don't have any of that anymore. For so many years, at this house, I can turn the lights off and not be scared anymore. She had me fucking terrified of that shit. Ghosts and aliens. You know? I don't like that shit. It's a bunch of bullshit. That was her people there in Texas who pushed that shit and tried to make it like, you know, with their NASA and stuff. There are no evil aliens. What are you, stupid as shit? The Bible says that aliens are kind. They're kind creatures. They're cherubs from the heavens. They're not evil. That's wrong. You got it wrong. Not only are you really scary and terrifying and bad and sinful, and it could end really horribly for you in hell or in torment, and your bad, wrong ideas, they're wrong. They're actually just the wrong thing. They're doing some wrong, stupid ass shit. Not something that's good. And it's stupid that they would choose a few decades of a good time, or not even a good time, but having all that money or some money, and literally not even getting to enjoy it because they're working in meanness constantly to think that they have all that, and they're like constantly mean, and that's who they were that entire time. When they die and Jesus and God judge them, when God judges them, he will look at their life's work and say, you are a worker, I think, unless I don't know if they're a worker of unrighteousness. Only God can judge. Maybe, only God can judge. He will look at that habit they made out of that meanness to get what they have. And that's who they were the whole time. Why would you even enjoy being that way? How could you enjoy being with others? Why would you want to be? Nothing's worth being that kind of person the whole time. And God will look at them and say, I never knew you. You're a worker of unrighteousness. For those people who do that, I don't know if that man there is one or not, but I think he may be. And they took my children away from me. They tried to pull what Trump did back then for the Texas people. They thought it was cool. Trump would separate the people coming into the country. He would separate the families, like the Mexican families. He'd break apart their families. But it wasn't that bad. He wasn't really aware of it. He didn't know really what was going on that much. He didn't want to hurt anyone. Trump was okay, I think. He may have said some jerk things, of course, but not that bad. But I think they really wanted to try to do that to me for being more liberal again. Those people were and I don't even know if I was liberal or not. I have Republican and liberal ideas, but I don't get them. I don't get them. And I don't know why I would even want to be with Danica anymore if she keeps going to them in their wrongful, sinful ways. Their bad ways. Their wrongful, sinful, stupid uncool, untruthful ways. They lie about their thoughts and intent so they don't get in trouble for it. They try to do some really mean-ass thing, and then they lie with their words to pretend they said something different so they don't get in trouble. And I see what they're doing. I know now what they're doing. When I was younger, I was terrified by it, and I didn't know, and they tricked me into being that way a little bit. And then I really found God and Jesus when I got away from them all long enough. Thank God. But I want her and the kids to really be okay. I want them to get into heaven. They're my responsibility. I love them. And maybe I can get along with other people too. I don't know, but I just said this stuff about them. I've had enough. They've been there so long. Why would I have to go to that fucking place for the 8th time? Jesus may destroy all of Texas. I've had enough. Jesus may destroy that fucking place and all the people get out of there safe. Destroy all that evil shit. Built up brand new shit. Evil. Sucks. It's bad. Separation of class bullshit. They're really against all that much of the rest of America who have a little bit older houses or older houses. They don't want to throw away good hard work. Built some random new one that took a few months to build. It has no love, no emotion, nothing original about it, nothing special about their houses. Fuck their bullshit. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry, God, for cursing or being negative, but I think it's about time that Jesus destroy all those houses in Texas. Like Jesus destroyed the fig tree. They're things. They're evil things. They're evil things. They do not matter. Nothing that special about there. If it was an old enough building, they'd fucking tear it down there. How stupid their bullshit is. Their separation of classes. I think a hurricane, the biggest one on earth, will destroy that entire fucking place and not harm a single human being there. And they will be outside of Texas and bring a lot of their money and stuff that the insurance gave them to the rest of the nation. And the rest of the nation will flourish and have way more money with those people coming to us on the East Coast, the rest of America, and make a lot more money. Texas will be blown to shit from a hurricane, and they'll be happy in a different place that's not evil. Praise God, praise Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for destroying the evil things and not hurting a single person. Amen.
Bye.